up is Parks and Rec Diner. It's in the historic Gar building in Detroit. Seriously good eats. And if you look closely, you can find One Detroit producer Bill Kubota having lunch in the background. Yep, there he is. I had a great conversation with the general manager, Giovanni Mansilla, about the place and the Detroit restaurant scene.
Did you ever think that you'd be directing culinary services in a castle like the Gar building?
Never, especially the Gar building, because I remember it when it was all boarded up windows and really scary looking. So being down here now is pretty fantastic, especially with how beautiful the city is and the park across the street.
So this building was built back in the late 1800s, and it was for Civil War veterans.
Yeah, so it was, construction started in 1896, and it was funded by the Grand Army of the Republic for this to be a meeting hall for Civil War veterans. It was, the first floor was all retail shops, and then as you went up, it was just activities for them. The first ever elevator installed in the city of Detroit was actually here.
Was it really?
Yes, because a lot of them, they were lost limbs in the war, so to get up to the plays that were happening on the fourth floor,
oh my gosh,
they rode the elevator.
So, but then it was in the 1900s, mid-1900s that things started
in the
to change.
1930s, we saw a little bit of a shift because, unfortunately, the guys from the Civil War were starting to pass on. So they turned ownership of the building over to the city of Detroit, and it became the Department of Parks and Recreation.
So that's why this is Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec. That's the original sign behind us right there.
That's very cool. And so then, so Parks and Rec and Republic opened both in 2015. And because it's a historic building, you had to have public space? Is that what it was?
So the original deed from 1899 states that since this was a Civil War memorial, that the first floor always had to be open to the public. Which is why the owners who had never been in restaurants before wanted to make sure that it was something that honored the history of the building and the concepts matched.
It's a really, really unique space. And so now you guys have been open for a number of years. What kind of changes have you seen among people coming in and out and enjoying the restaurants?
Well, when the building was transitioned at first, there wasn't a park. All of the nice lots that you see down here in the district neighborhood, those were gravel lots. Yeah, the whole area is really just spruced up in its entirety. It's a really nice place to be now.
You know what I think is really interesting about watching the restaurant scene grow here in Detroit is the opportunity for work. And a lot of people, in either they're going into culinary arts, or going to a lot of the local programs, that there is opportunity to be able to learn in a lot of these kitchens.
Yeah, as far as culinarians go, this is the perfect time. I don't think that the restaurant scene in Metro Detroit has ever had so many great opportunities. You learn a lot of valuable skills as a server in the hospitality industry, and it's definitely a great way to fund your schooling. I've seen over my career hundreds of people kind of put themselves through school that way.
Yeah, and so we're all kind of watching, I think, the Detroit restaurant scene change, and change rapidly. You're seeing a lot of new, different restaurants come in, high-end occasion restaurants, very specifically tailored restaurants. What do you make of what you're seeing?
It's a great thing for us as a city, because it's giving us more options, right? As far as the culinary scene in Detroit goes, once upon a time when Republic opened up, there was 3 nice restaurants to go to if you were having a special occasion or you were going to see a show downtown. Now you have a myriad of selections based on your personal tastes and preferences. So it's healthy competition and something that we embrace. Overall, I think we've definitely established both concepts to be the best at what they do. We want to make sure that we're working with all local produce, local farmers as much as we possibly can, and the quality of the product comes through in the final vision of the chef. Our menus rotate seasonally, so it's really about making sure that we are giving our guests the best possible experience by following what they want. And we're out here with them, getting their feedback every day. It's how we challenge ourselves and stay current, stay relevant.